Picture this. It's a cloudy Wednesday morning. You've got your coffee steaming in your favorite mug. Maybe your dog's drifting off to sleep from the couch. And without even thinking about it, your thumb starts doing that thing. You know what I mean. The scroll. Instagram, TikTok. Checking your email for the third time in 10 minutes. And then boom, there's that ad for those sneakers you looked at yesterday. Not just any sneakers, but the exact color, the exact size, maybe even with a 20% off your first order message that seems almost too good to ignore. Coincidence? Absolutely not. That's AI working behind the scenes, quietly orchestrating your entire digital experience. Hey everyone, I'm Andy, and this is Andy Can Help Live. Every week we dig into the tech and psychology that's changing how we shop, scroll, and sell online. Whether you're a creator trying to understand your audience, a small business owner navigating digital marketing, or just someone curious about why your phone seems to read your mind, this show is for you. Here's something that'll blow your mind. The AI-powered e-commerce market is worth $8.65 billion as of 2025, and it's expected to reach $22.6 billion by 2032. That's a growth rate of 14.6% every year. That's just not bigger numbers on a spreadsheet. That's a complete transformation in how we discover products, make decisions, and even think about what we want before we want it. And honestly, most of us don't even notice it's happening. Today we're going to pull back the curtain on this invisible world that's shaping every purchase decision you make. We'll talk about the psychology, the tools, and most importantly, what this means for you, whether you're buying or selling online. So let's start with your invisible shopping assistant. You know, the one that never sleeps, never takes a coffee break, and somehow knows you better than your best friend does when it comes to what you might want to buy. Ever wonder why that sweater you looked at once is suddenly everywhere? Instagram stories, YouTube ads, in your inbox. It's like it's following you around the internet with a little flag saying, "Remember me?" Well, it kind of is. This is machine learning in action. Your personal digital concierge is tracking every click, every scroll, every pause, even how long you hover over a product photo before moving on. And it's building a profile of you that would make an FBI profiler jealous. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. And trust me, it's more sophisticated than you think. Recommendation engines are studying you in ways that go far beyond, quote, people who bought this also bought that, end quote. They're also analyzing how you shop. Do you read reviews first, or do you impulse buy? Do you compare prices across multiple sites? Do you abandon your cart and come back 3 days later? How long do you stare at that product image before deciding? It's all data points in a massive behavioral map driven by analytics. And here's the crazy part. These systems work incredibly well. Studies show that 56% of online shoppers are more likely to return to a site that recommends products to them. Amazon? About 35% of their sales come from the recommendation engine alone. That's hundreds of billions of dollars driven by algorithms that learned your preferences. But it gets deeper. These systems don't just look at what you've bought. They analyze what you've almost bought. That item that you put in your cart and then removed? That's valuable data about your hesitation patterns. The products you've saved to your wish list but never purchased? That tells them about your aspirational buying versus your actual buying behavior. Then there's dynamic pricing, and this one gets a little wild. You might literally pay a different price than your friend sitting right next to you for the exact same item. The system looks at supply, demand, what competitors are charging, your location, the device you're using, your browsing history, and yeah, your personal shopping patterns to deliver a custom price that is designed to have you convert and buy that product. Airlines pioneered this with their yield management systems, bumping up prices for people who keep coming back to check the same flight. Now it's everywhere. E-commerce platforms using AI-driven dynamic pricing have seen their profit margins rise by 25%. That means the algorithm isn't just helping you find products, it's optimizing how much you pay for them. And those product descriptions you're reading, there's a decent chance that they were written by AI tools like ChatGPT, Jasper, or Copy.ai. The copy is getting so good, so tailored to specific audiences and keywords that you can't even tell anymore. Some brands are using AI to write thousands of product descriptions in multiple languages, all optimized for different customer segments. It's all designed to predict what you want to before you know you want it, and to present it to you in the most compelling way possible at the exact right moment. Pretty fascinating, right? And a little scary when you think about how good it's getting. Here's where it gets really interesting, and honestly, where I think the real magic, or manipulation, depending on how you look at it, happens. AI doesn't just show you stuff, it actually influences how you feel about buying it. Let's talk about psychological triggers first. You've definitely seen these messages. Quote, only two left in stock, unquote. Or, quote, Sarah from Portland bought this 12 minutes ago, unquote. Or 847 people have this in their cart right now, unquote. Or someone just bought this item from Dallas. These aren't just helpful updates, they're psychological triggers. Scarcity creates urgency. Social proof makes you feel like you're missing out on something everyone else knows about. Time pressure makes you act faster than you normally would. But here's what's really sophisticated. These messages are often personalized. The system might show Sarah from Portland to someone in the Pacific Northwest, but Mike from Atlanta to someone in Georgia. It's using geographic and demographic data to make the social proof feel more relevant to you specifically. And the timing? That's calculated too. You might see 12 minutes ago when you first visit, then 8 minutes ago when you come back to the same product later. It's creating a narrative of ongoing activity that makes the product feel more desirable. Then there's the subtle stuff that's even more powerful, and this is where AI really shines. Ever notice how some product pages just feel right? Maybe the colors somehow match your mood, or the layout feels intuitive in a way you can't quite explain. That's not accident. That's AI reading your digital body language and adjusting the experience. Some systems track your mouse movements, how fast you scroll, where you pause, even the angle of your phone if you're on mobile. They're building a real-time emotional map of how you're feeling about what you're seeing. The you might also like section, that's not just being helpful. It's a conversation machine designed to bump up your order total by understanding exactly what makes you tick. Get this. Segmented and target marketing campaigns based on customer data can increase conversion rates by up to 50%. Personalized ads? They can improve conversion rates by up to 40%. But let's go deeper into the emotional manipulation. And yes, I'm using that word intentionally. Some e-commerce sites are experimenting with what's called emotional AI. They're analyzing your facial expressions through your device's camera, with permission, supposedly, your typing patterns, even your voice if you're using voice search. Imagine a system that knows you sound stressed when you're shopping late at night, so it shows you comfort products in softer, more soothing colors. Or it detects excitement in your voice when you ask about workout gear, so it emphasizes energy and achievement in the product descriptions. There's also something called behavioral retargeting that goes beyond just showing you ads for products you've looked at. These systems are trying to identify your emotional state when you abandon a purchase, then craft messages designed to address that specific hesitation. Did you leave because of a price? You might get a discount code. Did you seem overwhelmed by choices? You might get a simplified product comparison. Did you abandon at checkout? You might get reassurance about security and return policies. Sometimes I'll catch myself adding something to my cart and think, wait, did I actually want this? Or did the website just make me feel like I needed it? The personalization has gotten that good, that subtle, that psychologically sophisticated. And the scary part? We're just scratching the surface. As these systems get better at reading our emotional and behavioral patterns, the line between helpful personalization and psychological manipulation is going to get blurrier and blurrier. But wait, there's more. And this might be the biggest shift we're seeing right now. The major marketplaces aren't just using AI behind the scenes anymore. They're putting it right in front of you as your personal shopping assistant that you can actually talk to. Let's start with Amazon's Rufus, which launched for all US customers in 2024, and honestly, it's pretty mind-blowing when you first use it. This AI chatbot has been trained on Amazon's entire product catalog. We're talking hundreds of millions of products, plus customer reviews, community Q&As, and other public information from around the web. You can literally ask it questions like, what is the best coffee maker for someone who drinks 1 cup a day and has limited counter space? And it'll give you personalized recommendations with explanations for why it chose each one. But it goes deeper than that. You can ask follow-up questions like, which of these is easiest to clean, or do any of these work with a timer? It's like having a conversation with a sales associate who has perfect memory of every product review ever written. By 2025, Amazon projects that Rufus will influence over $711 billion in product coverage globally. Let that sink in. That's not just a feature, that's a fundamental shift in how we discover and evaluate products. Instead of scrolling through search results, you're having a conversation. Walmart isn't sitting on the sidelines either. They've got multiple AI assistants now. There's customer service chatbot that can handle returns and find orders without you having to wait on hold or navigate through phone trees. But they just launched something called Sparky in 2025, a generative AI assistant that summarizes hundreds of customer reviews into key insights that help shoppers plan entire purchases. Eventually, Walmart's system will be able to book services and make purchases on your behalf. Imagine telling it, I'm hosting a barbecue for 12 people next Saturday, and having it create a complete shopping list, check your local store's inventory, and even schedule a pickup time. But here's what's really wild about this trend. These aren't just better search engines. They're conversation partners that remember context and can handle complex multi-part requests. I tried asking Rufus about camping gear for someone who's never camped before, and it didn't just give me a list of products. It walked me through what I need for different types of camping, asked about my budget and experience level, and even suggested complementary items I hadn't thought of. The shopping conversation is becoming less about browsing and more about having a conversation with an AI that knows millions of products better than any human sales associate ever could. And that's changing not just how we shop, but how we think about what we need. Instead of, I need hiking boots, you might start thinking, I need help planning a hiking trip. The AI becomes the consultant, not just a search tool. So we've talked about what the big players are doing. Amazon with their billions in AI investment, Walmart with their massive data resources. But here's the question everyone's asking. What does this mean for small businesses, independent brands, and creators who don't have these kinds of resources? The answer is complicated, and honestly, it's both exciting and a little concerning. First, the good news. The tools are becoming democratic in ways we've never seen before. Platforms like Shopify and MailChimp are putting machine learning capabilities in reach for smaller businesses. In fact, 89% of companies are now using or testing AI in some capacity, and that includes a lot of small businesses. If you're running an indie brand or you're a micro-influencer, you don't need a tech team anymore. You can plug in tools like Clerk.io for smart product recommendations that learn from your customers' behavior. Octane AI lets you build those fun quizzes for your customer that help them find their perfect product, like find your skincare routine or what's your style personality. Klaviyo's AI can help write and optimize your email campaigns, testing subject lines and send times automatically. Even basic Shopify accounts now come with an AI-powered product recommendation that would have cost thousands to develop and months of time just a few years ago. And the results are impressive. AI-enabled sites are seeing purchases happen 47% faster than traditional sites. That's a huge competitive advantage. But here's where it gets challenging, and I want to be real with you about this. There's a significant digital divide forming. These tools cost money. They require time to set up and optimize. And most importantly, they require a level of digital literacy that not every small business owner has. While a big brand might have dedicated teams running A/B testing on their AI algorithms, a solo entrepreneur is trying to figure out if their automated email tool is working, while also managing inventory, customer service, and actually creating their products and trying to sell the passion that they have to their audience. Plus, there's something I call AI fatigue happening among consumers. As everyone starts using the same AI tools, customer experiences are starting to feel very similar. The personalized email that feels perfectly crafted, your customers are getting 5 others just like it from different brands, and it's creating this uncanny valley feeling to all of the marketing material that is coming at you. So how do you compete? How do you stand out when everyone has access to similar AI tools? This is where the human element becomes your superpower. Not despite the AI revolution, but because of it. AI can optimize your processes, but it can't build genuine trust. It can't tell your unique story. It can't show up authentically in your DMs or post that perfectly imperfect Instagram story of you packing orders while your cat walks across the shipping labels. For influencers specifically, AI might curate your audience's feed, but authenticity is what makes them stop scrolling and actually engage, even when the algorithm isn't feeling generous that day. I've seen small brands succeed by using AI tools strategically that handle the repetitive stuff: customer service, email automation, basic product recommendations, while focusing their human energy on the things that actually build relationships. And that strikes an efficient balance between leveraging AI but also keeping that human touch. That sweet spot seems to be using the technology to free up your time and mental energy, then investing that saved time in the genuinely human parts of your business, the parts AI can't replicate. If you're not reinvesting that time and you're just putting out that AI generated content out there as the final product, you're just introducing slop. And that isn't something that's desirable or authentic, and your customers aren't going to respond well to it. So do yourself the favor of investing that time back into what you do and driving that authenticity. Because here's the thing: as AI gets better at mimicking human communication, the actually human communication becomes more valuable, not less. Now, I'd be doing you a disservice if I painted this whole AI revolution as purely positive. There are some genuine concerns we need to talk about, both as consumers and as business owners. First, there's the privacy issue. These AI systems are incredibly hungry for data. Your browsing history, purchase patterns, even how long you hover over certain images, it's all being collected, analyzed, and used to influence your future behavior. Most of us have no idea how much data we're actually sharing or how it's being used. That accept all cookies button you clicked without reading, you might have just agreed to let dozens of companies track your behavior across the internet. Then there's what I call the filter bubble effect. As AI gets better at predicting what you want, it might also limit what you discover. If the algorithm thinks that you're a budget conscious shopper, you might never see premium options. If it categorizes you as someone who buys fast fashion, you might not get exposed to sustainable alternatives. And this kind of pigeonholing can actually limit commerce and your growth as a consumer. This isn't just limiting for consumers, it's potentially devastating for small businesses trying to reach new audiences. If AI systems decide your brand isn't a good fit for certain customer segments, you might become invisible to those potential customers. There's also the manipulation factor we touched on earlier. As these systems get more sophisticated at reading our emotional states and behavioral patterns, the line between helpful personalization and psychological manipulation gets blurrier. Some companies are already using what's called dark patterns, design elements and psychological tricks specifically intended to manipulate user behavior. AI makes these patterns more powerful and harder to detect. For business owners, there's a different set of concerns. Over-reliance on AI tools can make you lose touch with your actual customers. If you're automating all your customer interactions, you might miss important feedback or changes in customer sentiment. And then there's the cost factor. As AI tools become essential for competing, the costs of staying competitive keep rising. It's creating a situation where businesses feel forced to adopt expensive AI solutions just to keep up. And these AI solutions also carry an environmental cost, as they are extremely consumptive of energy and can end up polluting the local areas where those data centers are ran. So there is also an environmental cost that comes along with this growth. My advice? Stay informed, stay conscious of your data, and remember that you always have the power to opt out, shop elsewhere, or choose businesses that align with your values about privacy and authentic human interaction. And underscore that your customers have this option too. Make sure that you are being very visible and upfront with how you are using your customers' data and allowing them to make the choice of how that gets implemented with how they shop with you. All right, let's make this practical. Here's what I want you to try this week. Whether you're a consumer trying to be more conscious about AI influence or a business owner looking to get started. For consumers, start paying attention to your own shopping behavior. What made you click add to cart today? Was it a headline, a countdown timer, that people like you bought this message? Notice the psychology at work. Try shopping with JavaScript disabled for a week and see how different the experience feels. For business owners, pick one AI tool and actually use it. Don't just sign up for free trial and forget about it. Write your next week's worth of social captions with ChatGPT, or use Jasper to post drafts. But also spend time in your customer service inbox or comment sections. Stay connected to the human side of your business. And don't just push out what gets created by ChatGPT or Jasper just whole cloth. Do your reviewing. Make sure that it is congruent with what you are putting out there as your brand's messaging, and don't end up diluting that over the ease of using AI tools. And then for everybody, try having a conversation with one of these new AI shopping assistants. Ask Amazon's Rufus something complex, or test out a brand's chatbot with a tricky question. See how it feels. Notice what works and what doesn't. And here's the most important one. If something feels weird or manipulative in your shopping experience this week, trust that instinct. Screenshot it, think about why it bothered you, maybe share it with friends. We need to be conscious consumers in this AI-driven marketplace. And then finally, email me at hello@andycanhelp.com, or jump in our Discord if you discover something interesting, concerning, or just plain weird. I read every message, and your experiences often become the topics we explore in future episodes. So here's a recap of our journey today. AI is quietly shaping every purchase decision through sophisticated recommendation engines, dynamic pricing, and psychological triggers that are becoming incredibly personalized. Major marketplaces like Amazon and Walmart are rolling out conversational AI assistants that are changing how we discover and evaluate products. The big brands have significant advantages, but the tools for small businesses are more accessible than ever before. Though there's definitely a learning curve and a cost barrier that's creating new forms of digital inequality. Your best strategy, whether you're buying or selling, leverage the technology where it makes sense, but never lose sight of the human elements that AI can't replace: authentic storytelling, genuine relationships, and conscious decision making. Next week, we're diving into something I'm really excited about. Is B2B ready for social commerce? We'll explore how businesses' purchasing decisions are being influenced by the same psychological tactics we talked about today, and what that means for companies selling to other businesses rather than consumers. If you work with businesses or run a B2B company, you'll definitely want to tune in. It's a whole new world opening up, and frankly, most B2B companies are completely unprepared for it. If this episode gave you some new perspective or made you think differently about your shopping habits, hit follow and share it with someone building something cool online. Word of mouth is still the most powerful algorithm there is. Thanks to Obnoxious for our intro music. You can find them on all streaming platforms by searching ABNOXIX. Want to be a guest and share your experience with AI and e-commerce? Check out our application at linktree/AndyCanHelp. Until next time, keep scrolling smart, stay authentically human, and remember, you have more power in this AI-driven marketplace than you think. The question is, how will you choose to use it?